Imagine standing in your home in the pitch black, your newborn strapped to your chest. You're frantically trying to think of everything you need to take with you in case this is the last time you can come home. We've all been asked that question. What would you grab if there was a fire in your house? Usually we can answer it specifically. Photos, sentimental things, valuables. But when it actually came down to it for me, I froze. In that moment, I didn't need things, I needed people. A community to hold me through the chaos, but I didn't know it yet. It was the night of January 7th. My baby was barely 12 weeks old. My husband and I got the call from our neighbor, evacuate now. The power was already out, our house was plunged into darkness, and we fumbled with our cell phone lights to see just a few feet in front of us. My sweet girl was screaming. She felt my tension rising as my husband grabbed whatever he could and hauled it to the car. I saw him run by with my mother's ashes, and I burst into tears. I didn't know what to do. How do you pack up your life in moments? We had only moved in last October, just a few days before my baby was born. The Saturday before the fire, we had met our neighbors at a block party. We heard stories of kids growing up, backyard weddings, lives built on love. My husband and I walked home, hearts bursting. We couldn't believe this was our future. We felt so lucky. Little did we know, in just a few days, every person we had met would lose their home in the Eaton fire. By some miracle, ours was the only house still standing in an endless sea of rubble. We rejoiced, cried, and thanked whatever higher power had saved our home. But in the ensuing days, the reality of what had befallen us set in. We felt survivor's guilt. Why had our home been spared? We were uneasy at the thought of eventually moving back in. What would we be coming back to? Would our wonderful neighbors be rebuilding? Then came testing. Lead had contaminated every inch of our home. Our furniture, clothes, books, everything was poisoned, uncleanable. We would have to tear out walls, ceilings, everything we had just made perfect for our family. Since the fire, my baby has slept in 9 different places. Hotels, friends' houses, a handful of Airbnbs. We're still in one right now. The days following the fire, texts, calls, and offers poured in. What can I do? What do you need? And every time my answer was the same. I don't know. I didn't know what I needed to be me again. I didn't know what my baby needed beyond my shaky arms. What I needed was to feel normal instead of like a survivor. After tragedies like this, the world spins on, relentless and indifferent. People move forward, life marches ahead. The check-ins fade, the questions, how are you holding up, what do you need, dissolve into silence. And in that quiet, isolation creeps in like a fog. I found myself adrift, unable to connect with people who hadn't felt the fire's bitter bite. Their normalcy felt foreign, something completely unreachable. Deep down, I knew there had to be other mothers out there with hearts as bruised as mine, looking to be understood. When my mother was diagnosed with cancer in 2020 and passed 6 weeks later, I was lost in grief. Adrift from a world that I didn't understand. I sought out others who had felt that same sudden loss. And their love, their shared stories, became my anchor. That's when I learned, when life breaks you, finding your community can save you. The fire brought that same lonely despair, so I knew I had to try again. On a whim, I started a Facebook group called the Altadena Eaton Fire Moms. I posted it in a handful of local threads, thinking maybe a couple of people would join. Overnight, the floodgates opened. Women poured in, sharing their harrowing, raw, unfiltered, and honest stories. Mothers who had faced that same inferno on January 7th. One with a C-section who was scheduled for the very next day. Another who had draped a wet blanket over her 11-day-old baby as she fled. Another 38 weeks pregnant with a planned home birth. Tears streamed down my face as I read their truth. These strong women knew exactly what I was going through. I call them strong because survival left us no other path. It's the quiet ferocity of holding on when your arms are screaming to let go. The mental load has pushed us to the brink, teetering us and left us teetering. And yet, in our community, a stranger's simple words, "I see you," lands like a lifeline, pulling us back from the void. It's a place to unload the weight we've carried since that night, and to be met with understanding and truly be seen. We even have a baby named Eaton in our circle, a tiny spark of joy named from the blaze that tried to break us. But here's the quiet truth unfurling in my heart 9 months later. Everything is going to be okay. Altadena will bloom again. And as a community and as a family, I stand here today reminding that fires may take our homes, our things, our safety, but they cannot take our spirit. In the ashes of that January night, we found something stronger, each other. All of us are proof that even in our darkest moments, we are never truly alone. So let's hold space for the guilt, the loss, the trauma. We're survivors, yes, but we're so much more. We're a family forged in fire, writing Altadena's next chapter together. Thank you.